Just when I thought I could relax, the anime industry drops a crap ton of massively exciting news. Yes, we got a release date for Call of the Night, Darwin Incident, Watari-kun's is about to collapse. We also got an announcement for an anime adaptation of All You Need Is Kill, and with it came the most actually posts I have ever seen in my entire life. Actually, it's based on a manga. Actually, no, that's actually based on a novel. It's not based off the Hollywood Edge of Tomorrow. There's so many posts like that. But anyways, if you're interested in any of this news, definitely stay tuned. First things first, let's talk about Call of Night. We have a new visual release for the series, as well as a date. Yes, set your calendars for July. July of 2025, the second season will be premiering, and I could not be more excited. For those that missed the first season, please go watch it. It is an absolutely incredible show. It's got great style to it. I love the visuals. The characters themselves are fantastic. It's basically this guy that's a shut-in, and he spends most of his nights just walking around the town. At some point, he comes across this one girl who kind of does this therapy thing where she sleeps next to people to help them go to sleep. But she turns out to be a vampire. And he thinks this is great because he always stays up all night. And so he figured, oh, it'd be great to become a vampire. But there's a little bit of a problem. The way that vampires work in this world is a little bit different. There's a quirk to it. But yeah, like I said before, absolutely love the first season. It's pretty much where a lot of people were introduced to Creepy Nuts, and their music for the actual series was fantastic. But I cannot wait for it. July 2025. Set your calendars. I'll be there. For our next bit, yes, All You Need Is Kill is getting an anime adaptation by Studio 4C. And I am extremely mixed on this. I am extremely mixed on this. Yes, I am a massive All You Need Is Kill fan. I watched the movie Edge of Tomorrow. I was like, hey, this is really cool. And then later on, I found out that it was based off of a novel. I went and read the novel, and I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. The novel itself is incredible. And then I went and read the manga, and I was like, okay, this is not as good as the novel, but it's really, really good. So yes, seeing that they're going to get finally an anime adaptation, I was immediately like, I want this. Then I checked the trailer. Now, I'm of two minds here. On one end, it's extremely artistic. It looks beautiful, great style to it and everything like that. On the other hand, I don't know this is going to capture All You Need Is Kill. Like, it's not All You Need Is Kill. All You Need Is Kill is very graphic. It's bloody, it's dark, it's gritty, it's mechanical, that kind of stuff. And so when I seen this and it looks more like, I don't know, Western Cartoon Network, for lack of a better term, I'm not saying it's that, it gives me a lot of pause. Yeah, technically, this isn't Rita. The character in this trailer doesn't look like Rita. It looks very different. The mecha design's very different. Nothing really kind of matches up to the style that we see. I mean, we have later cover arts for the actual All You Need Is Kill right here. It's very dark, gritty, oily. So yeah, I do have a lot of pause seeing something very colorful. And yes, very Studio 4C. Let's be honest, it's very Studio 4C. Studio 4C is very experimental and very colorful studio. And again, like I said before, that in its own right is really creative and fantastic. It's just I'm very hesitant as to if this will execute on All You Need Is Kill. At the end of the day, I'll just have to wait and watch it. That's my end goal there, is just I'm going to watch it no matter what, and I hope that it actually captures that story. Yeah, the oddity here is, of course, who is this? I was at first going, okay, they're going to do their own original thing, and then I read the synopsis and it says it's Rita. And I'm like, wait, this is not Rita? Okay, so this is Rita. That caught me left field. Didn't really think that looked like Rita, but we'll go with it. Now, granted, the only reference that I think we get with what Rita looks like is the manga. I don't think she's actually shown in the novel series. But yeah, I didn't think this was Rita until I actually read it, which that has me right there kind of excited. The synopsis is, after an unidentified plant from outer space spawns an invasion, Rita finds herself trapped in a time loop, forced to relive the same day over and over again. With each loop, she learns, she fights. Her memories and her experience sharpens her skills, turning her into a formidable warrior. Yet, the endless cycle of death and solitude begins to wear her down. Then, she meets Keiji. I've been repeating this day too, he says. Two lost souls trapped in an endless war. Could their meeting change fate? For those who don't know, the story of All You Need Is Kill follows our main character, Keiji, and very quickly he meets Rita. And then later on, way later on in the novel series, if my memory serves me correctly, because it's been a while, way later on in the novel series, it gets into Rita's story. And Rita is sort of a precursor to his story, because she's been kind of dealing with the same thing, and that's why they come together to work together. And so it's not until way later that we get her story. So this looks like it's going to be telling her story, which is great if the author is involved. I have no doubt, but I really do hope they get the author involved, because otherwise it can get really messy. Because yes, her story and how it works is extremely pinnacle to Keiji's story and how they find their conclusion. Which, yes, for those that have actually read the novel series, is going to be a massive question mark how that will actually play out at the very end. Will they follow through with that story? Because Rita's story is very important. Either way, getting Rita's story is great because the novel series, if I recall correctly, it's not like super summarized, but it's not in depth. It's not like a play-by-play of everything that happened in her life. It just kind of gives you a lowdown on how she got to the current point that she's at. So again, if they can pull that off, if they have the writer involved, I think it could be a very unique experience. On the opposite end, it's kind of frustrating that we now have 2 adaptations of this series in a animated or visual format that's not going to actually tell Keiji's story properly. Like, I think everybody that's like, hey, let's adapt this light novel. Oh, let's not follow Keiji. Let's do our own thing. Oh, let's not adapt Keiji's story. Let's do Tom Cruise. Let's not do Keiji's story. Let's do Rita. Either way, I am extremely excited about it. Like I said before, I am very hesitant on the style and if it will pick up on the gritty nature of the story. Like I said before, it's a very violent story. I'm kind of curious if they chose to go with this style. Strictly one, to be artistic, obviously, because it's Studio 4C. But also, I wonder if they went with this artistic style in order to bring down the graphic nature, which could definitely be the case. They could be going for this style just for the sake that it's going to be too unappealing to be that graphical. Either way, I'm on board. I'm definitely going to be watching it. I'm going to keep my expectations low because, again, the style. But either way, it is what it is. It is what it is. Moving on, Watari-kun's is about to collapse has got a premiere date of July 2025. So this is 2 in this announcement that we have of July. So it feels like summer's already picking up. This is, of course, being done by Studio Staple Entertainment. A new teaser visual and a website was open for it. The synopsis is Naoto Watari has had his share of struggles. His parents died 2 years ago, and now he and his sister lives in his aunt's house. There, his desire to protect his sister earned him the notoriety of the guy with his sister complex, which never mattered to him, and his sister always came first. But when Satsuki, a childhood friend turned enemy, becomes his schoolmate, Naoto's ordinary life is thrown into chaos, and Satsuki may just be the beginning. I'm curious what the bleep is about. What is the bleep about? I don't want to know. If it says in there, we'll find out when it actually comes out. I'm sure it's something that's implied, but not actually what you think it is kind of thing. Either way, I've been actually looking forward to this one ever since I've seen let's be honest, very catchy title. It creates that intrigue there. But yeah, interesting to see that's coming out in summer. For our next bit, the Darwin Incident. We got a new release date for that as well. It's going to be in January of 2026. So that'll be right alongside Frieren. So we already have winter of next year's already starting to pick up steam. It's being done by Bell Knox Films. They released a new trailer for it, so definitely go check that out. They also announced that the composer for the actual series will be the one that did the Apothecary Diaries, which, my gosh, the music in Apothecary Diaries is fantastic, so definitely welcome there. For those that don't know, the synopsis is created in a biological science lab. Charlie is a half-human, half-chimpanzee hybrid known as Human Z. Raised by his adoptive human parents, Charlie is now 15 and starting high school. There he meets Lucy, a clever loner who becomes his first ever friend. But his normal life is shattered when an animal rights extremist who freed his mother from a lab 15 years ago reemerged as terrorists bent on kidnapping Charlie at all cost. I wonder if that will end up being this guy right here, because it looks like he's kind of controlling him. I don't know. It looks super good. The PV already looks really great. I've heard mixed things about the source material, but I'm definitely excited for this one. I think when it was first announced, I'm like, okay, that looks intriguing. Definitely want to check that out. But yeah, coming out in 2026. For our next bit of news, Dead Account manga is getting a TV anime adaptation as well. Being done by Studio Synergy SP, the manga is set in a world where ghosts have also inhabited the internet, following the tradition that ghosts linger in places where they have strong attachments. The story centers around Soji, a 15-year-old boy who also streams under the handle Aoringo. He streams deliberately violent, clickbaity, and provocative content to get reactions and earn money, but is all for the cause of taking care of his younger sister's medical bills. In real life, he is a simple boy who only loves to eat pudding and loves his sister, whom he would go to hell and back for. That's 2 siscon shows. One time while online, he is attacked by a ghost who resides in the online world, and it leaves him spiritually awakened. He's recruited by Mid Academy, a school specializing in training exorcists who tackle the digital realm. Okay, that was going a different direction than I thought it was. Yeah, I actually read quite a bit of Real Account, which is, I think, their other work, and so I was expecting Real Account. Still kind of getting that whole aspect of social media and stuff like that, but still, I guess we're going for like a more shonen battler type of story. So we'll see. For our next bit, Yano-kun's Ordinary Days has gotten a release date for October of this year, being done by Aijiado. The comedy manga centers on Tsuyoshi Yano, an unlucky high school boy, and Kyoko Yoshida, the classmate that constantly worries about him. Yoshida sees Yano come into school injured, and Yoshida begins to follow Yano out of concern for him, observing his unlucky daily life and resolving to support him. That sounds cute. That definitely sounds cute. It's got some good art style to it. I think that could be a fun one to kind of go through. We got some more updates around Hero Without a Class. We got a new visual for it, as well as a 2025 premiere, so that'll be probably summer at the earliest, maybe fall. A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai light novel is getting an anime adaptation, being done by Tatsunoko Productions, as well as Synergy SP. This one is Takeru Kamishiro. Is a normal guy with an ordinary office job, but he finds himself summoned to another world. Takeru starts his new life in Medius, a world with swords and magic, fully equipped with multiple skills. Not only does he have enhanced physical and amazing magic abilities, but also the power to search for valuable items. With his cheat skill that he's been provided, Takeru starts his new adventure in the new Isekai. That's... okay. It's a very shrug... That's a very simple synopsis, okay? And finally, our last bit of news, Kamiina Botan manga is getting a TV anime adaptation. They released a visual for it as well as a concept movie. It's being done by Studio So Ani, and the manga centers on Botan, a 20-year-old in her first year of college, who becomes a little bolder and says some surprising things when she gets drunk. Another very simple synopsis. Yeah, I checked out the PV for this one. It's supposed to be a concept movie, so it's not necessarily a PV. It may be indicative to the final product, but it being concept, you would think that's probably what they're going for. And it basically looks like this. It's a very kind of painted artistic style to it that is in motion, which it kind of looks interesting and unique, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it also kind of looks a little rough. But so I'll be interested to see how the finished product of this looks. It looks like it's a very much so a drinking story, so that's sort of a negative for me. I don't really have too much of a... I'm not really into drinking, so it's like, okay, a story about people drinking and saying things that they don't normally say. Okay, I know there's a fandom for that, drinking girls, but I don't know. We'll see. It could turn into something interesting. But that's it. That's all the news I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always and found it informative. If you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate what it does. Until next time, y'all take care.